morning, welcome to day 21 of Vlogmas. So it is Thursday the 21st of December and it's really nice to be back on here today as unfortunately I had to miss yesterday, day 20. I was really hoping that I would be able to release a video yesterday but it just wasn't to be. The day was just really hectic. First of all we had the boiler guy here for quite a while fixing our boiler. And the boiler is all fixed now, so that's really, really nice. I had a hot shower last night, which was so lovely. And the heating is working again, and I can wash up using hot water that actually comes from the tap rather than having to boil the kettle. So yes, it feels like all mod cons are restored once again. And now I've just got fingers crossed that nothing else breaks before Christmas. So yes, fingers tightly crossed. And also yesterday, my son was at a sports camp, so I had to get him there and back. And then while he was there, my daughter had a friend over and we actually picked my friend up after we dropped my son off at the sports camp. Picked my daughter's friend up, sorry. And I took the two girls up to our local cinema and we saw Wish, which was a really lovely film actually. It was very sweet. And it was very nice to hear them giggling together as they watched the film next to me. And then my daughter's friend came back here for a little play date and some lunch too. So yeah, it was a bit tricky to fit in filming with all the noise from the boiler earlier and then later with the play date. So yeah, it just wasn't to be. So sorry, but I'm really glad to be back on again today to be able to catch up. So yes, catching up on yesterday, first of all, I wanted to share what Elf was up to because I didn't want you to miss out on a day of Elf's antics. So yesterday, day 20, when we got down in the morning, we found that Elf had set up a pass the parcel in our front room. So he'd invited a few other toys. They'd all got themselves organised into a circle. And Elf was sitting with the parcel and also with a little toy ghetto blaster that plays music. I think he was planning to use that for the pass the parcel tunes. And they hadn't actually started the pass the parcel yet. I wondered if they were waiting until my children came down so my children could join in. So my children helped the toys play and opened up the different layers. And inside each layer was a chocolate coin. And then when they got to the middle, there was a present from Elf, which is quite kind of Elf. And it's quite a cute present, actually. It was Christmas themed, of course, and it was a little Christmas Playmobil set. So I'll pop a picture up of it. There's a little Father Christmas and little Mother Christmas and little Elf, and also some little present boxes. And inside each present box, there was a tiny Playmobil present, which is really cute. My daughter's been really enjoying playing with that set. So I think Elf chose really well there when he got that pass the parcel organised. So yes, that is what we found Elf up to yesterday morning. And actually Elf had a really fun day yesterday because my daughter's friend brought her Elf with her for the play date. So her Elf came to the cinema with us and then came back here for a play. And our Elf decided to treat the new visitor to a little tea party. So I'll pop up a picture of the guest enjoying some cake courtesy of Elf and a cup of tea. And then they played Elf hide and seek, which my daughter and her friend helped with too. So the two elves got hidden in all sorts of places, and my daughter and her friend and me too, we all took it in turns to find them. So I'll pop up some pictures so you can see where the elves got up to. They look like they had a lot of fun, and so our Elf has a new best friend, which is quite nice. My daughter did remind me, when I said, oh, it's Elf's first friend, she did remind me Elf's probably got a lot of friends actually at the North Pole, which is true. But this is the first friend we've actually met of Elves, so yeah, that was really nice. And then yes, catching you up today on this morning's Elf antics before I move on to some sewing content. This morning when we came down, we found Elf had set up a little tower of paper cups and he had found all of our bouncy balls we have, and it looked like he had been having a lot of fun, probably knocking the tower over and rebuilding it. And my son thought it was a great game. He spent quite a while this morning putting the cups up in different ways and knocking them down himself. So yeah, I think Elf chose a fun game there that was right up right on my son's street there. So that brings you up to date on what Elf's been up to over the last couple of days. So it's been quite an exciting time for him with 2 busy nights and then a play date as well. And usually in the daytime, he's mainly chilling at home, other than the odd trip out. So I think he's probably feeling quite tired today, and I'm sure he'll spend quite a lot of the day just relaxing on the sofa and yeah, just having a bit of a snooze probably. But yeah, that's what Elf's been up to. And then in terms of what I'm wearing today, well, today I've got on quite an old sweatshirt actually. I made this one when I was quite new to sewing. And I made it using a pattern that I talked about earlier in Vlogmas when I was sharing a hacked version of this pattern. So the pattern is this one here. It is the Linden sweatshirt by Grainline Studio. So earlier in Vlogmas, I shared a hacked version where I'd added on a cowl neck to make it really cosy. But this version is a basic sweatshirt here. So it's a sweatshirt with raglan sleeves and a round collar and quite a straight boxy fit. And you can make it as a t-shirt also. It's just quite nice and simple, clean lines, which I kind of associate with Grainline Studio. I feel like a lot of their patterns are, very, very sort of simple, easy to wear kind of pieces. The only downside of this pattern is its size range is quite limited. It's available in a US size 0 up to a US size 18, which takes you up to bust of 44 inches. But it's a nice basic raglan sleeve sweatshirt. And I think I mentioned earlier in Vlogmas, I made it a few times when I was quite new to sewing until I found other sweatshirt patterns I felt like perhaps are slightly more my style and I prefer a little bit more. But this one does sew up really nicely. The version I'm wearing today, I love particularly because I just love the fabric that I made it in. As you can see, it's this really cute cat print fabric with lots and lots of cats all over it. And the background is kind of like a navy colour, but I think it somehow feels a bit more purple because of all the pinks on it. It somehow sort of makes me feel like it's almost like a dark purple. So it's got cats in pink and in teals and in light greens and light pinks. And yeah, I just think it's really fun. It always makes me smile when I get this one on. And the version I made earlier in Vlogmas, I had to add the cowl neck to because the neckline is stretched out and it didn't really look right. But luckily, the neckband went into this one okay. And the fabric is actually a fleece-backed sweatshirt fabric, which I wouldn't usually use for, say, the cuffs and the neckband because it isn't the stretchiest fabric ever. But it's quite a lightweight fleece-backed sweatshirt fabric, so it does have a bit of stretch to it. So it has worked fine for the cuffs and the neckband too. And yeah, luckily it's nice and flat and hasn't sort of stretched out of shape with use. So yeah, it's quite nice and cosy to wear, but not too cosy because it is a lightweight sweatshirting. I got it from a fabric shop online that's closed down quite a while ago, so I'm not sure if this fabric would be available anywhere online. But yeah, I always enjoy getting it out. In terms of sizing, I made the size 0 on this pattern based on my bust measurement, and my waist and hip measurement would put me as a size 2. But because the pattern has quite a boxy straight fit, I thought I'd be okay with just going with a size 0. And probably at the time, I think when I was quite new to sewing, I probably didn't think so much about grading between sizes. So I sort of just chose the size I hope would work best and just went with that. But I did end up actually adjusting this sweatshirt quite a bit at the time, I remember. I think at the time I wasn't so much into the sort of boxy fit sweatshirts, or maybe they weren't so much on trend as much as they are now. So in the end, what I did was I actually took it in quite a lot at the sides to give it sort of more of a fitted look to it. And I'll stand up a bit so you can see. So yeah, the Grainline Studio Linden sweatshirt is definitely designed to be more boxy than this version is. And I think I lengthened the pattern possibly a little bit too much, because when I put it on today, I did think it feels like it comes down a bit too long on me. So today I've actually turned up the hemband and I'm just wearing it like that. And I think that length's quite nice. So yeah, but it's just a nice comfy one to wear. And the main thing I love about it is the print. And I'll put a picture up so you can see what it looks like on. Yeah, it's nice to get this one out because I haven't had it out for ages actually. So yeah, that is what I'm wearing today. And then also something else exciting happened yesterday, which is my Minerva parcel arrived. So I mentioned at the weekend there was a Minerva VIP craft hub weekend with 20% off everything on the Minerva website. And I did a bit of shopping for a few fabrics, which I'd kind of been eyeing up for a while. So it was nice to be able to get the discount on things I'd already been thinking I wanted. So I thought I'd share them now. So the first fabric is not the most exciting purchase ever. It's fabric I've bought before and I decided to get some more of it. And it's this fabric here. It's this lovely wide rib knit cotton jersey fabric. It's one of the Minerva core range, I think. And I've made already in this fabric a couple of Freya tops by tealing the button, just a sort of mock neckline, nice close fitting top. I made one in a grey and one in a biscuit colour, and I think I've worn them both earlier in Vlogmas. And I really have worn them quite a lot this year because it's lovely cosy fabric. I find it's just a little bit more cosy feeling than some of my other maybe slightly lighter weight cotton jerseys. So it's been perfect for cold weather and perfect for layering, and I love the texture of the rib knit. So I thought I'd make myself a black version too, because I've got a black cotton jersey Freya top, which I wear quite a lot, and I often think, oh no, that one's in the wash, so it'd be nice to have another one. But I thought rather than making one that's exactly the same, it'd be nice to make a black one that has this texture to it, so it's a little bit different. So yeah, I think I can't remember what I got, some maybe just under 1.5 metres of this fabric, pretty much what I need to make a Freya. So that should be a nice, simple, quick make, and just nice to have in my wardrobe as we come into January, which is always the coldest month here. I can see myself getting a lot of wear out of that one. But I'll link the fabric down below. It's definitely one of my favourites this time of year. So the next fabric that I've got to share is another plain fabric. I've got 2 plain fabrics and 1 printed fabric. But this plain fabric is another one that has some texture to it, like the wide rib knit. I'm quite enjoying, I think, texture in fabrics at the moment. And this is another rib knit, but quite a different rib knit. And so here it is. It's got this narrower rib knit, and it's called an Ottoman rib knit. It's sort of almost like rounded rather than being flat like the wide rib knit in the black. But it's really cute fabric. This is a Minerva core fabric, and the name of it is Baby Soft Cotton Ottoman Rib Stretch Knit Fabric. I've got the details up here to make sure I got the name right. And it comes in quite a few colours, and the composition is 80% cotton, 15% polyester and 5% elastane. And it's got a really good stretch. It's got a 40% stretch, both lengthways and widthways. So yes, it's a fabric that I've been sort of looking at for a while on the Minerva website. And when the 20% sale came up, I thought that'd be a good time to get it. And yeah, I really like it actually. I think the colour's really pretty, this ivory colour. It's quite a sort of soft off-white colour, which I really like. So I'm looking forward to sewing it and seeing how it sews. It feels really nice and soft and does feel nice and stretchy. So I'm hoping it'll be nice to sew with and really nice to wear. And what I quite fancy making in this fabric is another basic top. But I decided I'd like to try a different top to my Freya, which I do go to quite a lot for a basic layering top. And I thought I'd like to try something different to make this top and try version 2 of the Neenly South Bank sweatshirt. So I usually make the South Bank sweatshirt and all these versions as more of like a sweatshirt that I'll layer other garments under. But for this one, I'd like to make a plain top that I wear on its own. So I think I might size down one size from what I usually go for to make it slightly closer fitting. And it's got this nice drop shoulder, which is a bit different to the Freya, a slightly wider stand-up neckline. And I think the whole fit might be a little bit looser than the Freya top. I don't want it to be sort of properly tight to me. I'd like it to be a bit more relaxed fit, I guess, which will go with the drop shoulder sort of relaxed vibe. So that was what I think I'm going to give a try. And it would just be interesting to compare it to my Freya tops and see how it comes out, because I've never made this top as like a top to be worn on its own. In my actual size, I've always sized up one size in the bust. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving it a go, and it'll be a nice simple sew as well. So just quite a nice sort of relaxed, easy palette cleanse type sew when I'm in the mood for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sewing this up and seeing how it comes out. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that fabric. I think it's really nice. There are a few nice colourways. All the colourways have kind of slightly muted tones to them. They aren't the bright colours. I guess maybe that just goes well with the style of this fabric. But that is my second fabric. And then my final fabric, which is a printed fabric, and I really like this one actually, is this one here. This is a viscose challis. It was really reasonably priced, even with a discount actually. It's a really good price on this one. I'll link all the fabrics down below. But it's got this really, really pretty sort of rose print on that gives me kind of 90s vibes, I think. And it comes in, I think, 3 colourways. And I went for the black colourway with these pretty pink roses on. And yeah, when I saw this fabric, I knew what I wanted to make with it. It's lovely, really nice viscose challis, lovely and drapey and floaty. And what I'd like to make with it is a new pattern, which I actually also bought when I was buying the other bits, the fabrics. It's a pattern that it's been out for a while now, and I've seen so many lovely versions, and I finally thought I'd really like to give it a go myself actually. I wasn't sure about it at first for some reason, but yeah, the more I've seen it, the more I've liked it, and the more I thought I really want to give it a try. And it is this pattern here. It is the Friday Pattern Co. Saltwater Slip Dress. So yes, it's a really cute, in fact, quite a simple slip dress. It says confident, it's a confident beginner, and it's woven fabrics. And it says it's got adjustable straps and it can be layered or worn on its own. So quite a versatile one, I guess. And it comes with 2 lengths, as you can see, kind of like a mini length and a longer length that has slits at the side. And then you make it with little adjustable sort of bra sort of rings and what are they called? Lingerie strap slides and ring sets. So yeah, you can adjust the straps. And I've never made anything with those adjustable straps before, so that'll be quite a nice new thing to try. So yeah, it looks really nice. You don't cut it on the bios or anything, so it should be quite nice and easy to cut out in the viscose. And it's got a good size range too. It goes from a extra small up to a 7X, which takes you up to bust of 50 inches. So yeah, it's just quite a nice simple slip dress. You can also add a little sort of tie around the waist to cinch it in, which I think I may well do. And I think I'm going to I'm not sure actually whether to go for the shorter length or the long length. I've got enough fabric to go for the long length, and I need to decide on that. But I thought it'd be a really cute one to layer over a top in winter and maybe wear on its own in summer too. And I just thought it'd be nice to try a new pattern, and I know a lot of people have raved over this pattern. It's a really popular one, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that pattern and fabric combination. I'm hoping it'll work out well. The Friday Pattern Company do say that they recommend light to medium weight fabrics for the saltwater slip dress, and particularly light to medium weight fabrics that have some drape will make for a lovely slinky slip dress. So I think this fabric will work really well for it, and I think it'll make a really nice combination. I think I'll have a real 90s vibe to it, especially if I layer it over a t-shirt or something like that. But yes, I'm really looking forward to trying out this fabric and pattern combination and finally giving this pattern a go. So yes, those are the items I got from Minerva in the sale. So I'm really happy with them all, and I can't wait to get sewing on those projects. So yeah, I was very excited when that parcel came in the post yesterday. So I think I've pretty much caught you up on the last couple of days now, except for one other update, which is that we finished our Christmas puzzle the night before last. So I really enjoyed finishing it off. My daughter actually helped finish it as well, which is really lovely because she hadn't wanted to get involved towards the beginning of it. So yeah, it was nice to be able to finish it all together. And I'm a bit sad it's done actually, because I've enjoyed it a lot. But I'm going to finish off this bit of the video here now, and then I'll pop back on a little bit later. But in the meantime, I thought I'd leave you with a little montage of the puzzle so you can see what it looked like once it was done. So I'll leave you with that now, and I'll see you again a little bit later. Bye! I'm back again now. It's a bit later in the day and we've had some lunch, and I've actually had a chance to do a little bit of sewing today too, which has been nice. Not a very long sewing session, but a bit earlier, late morning. My husband took the children out to the local shop just to pick up a few things, and I stayed at home and got my sewing machine out. So I only had about 15 minutes or so, but it was really, really nice to get it out because I haven't had a chance over the last couple of days. So I thought I'd show you what I've been doing. And I've been working a little bit more on my boxy zipped pouch in the rust coloured corduroy fabric. So this is what it's looking like now. It's still also inside out, but it is starting to look a bit more boxy shaped, as you can see. So what I've done today is, the first thing I did was to sew across the lining here, sort of to finish the lining ends. And the video did mention that was the fiddliest part of this box pouch, and I did find it really fiddly, particularly along this part here. You have to sew the lining and catch the zip, but not the main body fabric. And the main body fabric that I've been using is really bulky, with the sort of layers of corduroy, which is quite a thick fabric, and also sort of quite fluffy interfacing. So it's really hard to sort of peel that back out of the way and make sure I was catching both layers of the lining and the zip. And what I actually ended up doing was I ended up sort of sewing up to that middle bit and then sewing across it as best I could and then carrying on to the end. And then I actually went over the middle bit with some hand stitching just to sort of strengthen that seam a little bit, because the finish I got using the sewing machine wasn't that great, just because it was a real struggle to kind of catch it all, but also move the bulky fabric out of the way. But yes, both ends are done now. That wasn't my favourite part of sewing this bag boxy pouch though, definitely. And then the next thing I did was to start actually cutting off the corners to turn it into this boxy shape. So yeah, I've done all of the actual main body of fabric, but I need to do the lining next. And it was interesting actually, because I would have probably laid the seam flat to sew across here, but the tutorial recommended actually just folding both the same way towards the lining. So I'm not sure if there's a particular reason for that. I'm sure it'll become clear maybe as I start to finish the bag, but pouch, whatever it's called. But yeah, it's getting towards being finished now. I'm not sure if I'll get any time this afternoon to do a bit more or not. We shall see. And then later today, this evening, we are going out actually to a light show, a Christmas light show. And we've been to a light show a couple of years running, as you'll have seen if you've watched my previous Vlogmas series. But this year we're trying a different light show, and it's a bit of a longer driveway, but it's supposed to be really good. So we're really looking forward to it, and it'll be nice to try a different one. So yeah, it should be really nice, but we'll be back a little bit late afterwards because it is a bit of a longer drive, and obviously it's going to be dark for the lights. So I think what I'll do is I'll try and take some footage later, and then I'll aim to include it in tomorrow's video, so my day 22 Vlogmas video, because I'd like to get this video all edited and up so I can post it either before we head out or not too late anyway. So yes, that is the plan, I think. So I think I'll finish this video off here, and then later, all being well, I'll take some footage of the light show and I'll be able to share it with you hopefully tomorrow for day 22. So yes, that is the plan. So I'll finish off here. So I hope you've had a good couple of days. Thanks for joining me again. It's been nice to be back on. I did kind of miss it yesterday because I've got so used to the habit of being on every day. So yeah, it did feel a bit strange not to be doing it yesterday. So it's been nice to be back on today. And I look forward to seeing you again for day 22 tomorrow. So yes, have a good evening, and I will see you again for day 22 tomorrow. Bye.